You're listening to the It's Not Your Diary podcast, and I'm your host, Ty. Here, we combine faith, tough topics, and journaling to maintain our wellness through life's everyday struggles and to reach generational healing. So get ready for some deep, eye-opening conversations and get ready to take notes. Remember, it's not your diary because what we journal about affects the generations to come. What are you leaving for the generations that come after you? Don't know? Well, let me help you. Just grab a pen, your diary, or a journal, and let's get into the show.
What's in your diary? What's in your diary?
What's in your diary?
What's in yours?
Welcome back to another episode. How are you doing? It's just me today. No Carla. So where do I start? This week, if y'all saw my Instagram live, you know that this week has been pretty tough. And you know, because you watched the live. But yeah, not really because I felt defeated. More so because I was just feeling super tired. And my son, I think he got a tooth growing in the back, and it's just not, it's just, it's just one of those weeks. He is at a place now where he actually doesn't want to walk down the stairs. I don't know if it's because he has mittens on, because we got about 30 inches of snow outside. But yeah, so yeah, that's how my mornings have been going. But it's so crazy because I was thinking about it with him in the morning. Even if I'm 5 steps down, he just trusts and loves his mama so much that he knows that even if I'm far away, that I will catch him. If he jumps, if he decides when he's on that first step that he's not going to walk down, he's just going to jump to me. He knows that I'm going to catch him. And honestly, I was thinking about this because he just falls right into my arms, no hesitation. He just does it. He jumps. And he doesn't even think about will I drop him or nothing. That doesn't even cross his mind. And I was thinking this morning when I was taking him to school, I'm had a revelation. Okay, this is what God has been pushing me to do with him. And I want to share a little bit more into my revelation, how it happened and how I was just feeling this morning about this whole situation. And I actually did my devotional. I can't remember if I think I did it before, this morning before we even had left. So I wanted to share it because it just ties all in. But the devotional actually said, sometimes in your life, you're going to be weak to the point where you can't even pray. Sometimes in your life, you're going to be so weak you can't even pray, read the Bible, or go to a Bible study. You won't even be able to work, and you pretty much won't be able to do anything. And then it says, what do you do in those moments? You rest in the strength of the Lord, in his arms like a little child, and you trust. So this is how the revelation happened, because I had read this and then I was thinking he's been doing this every morning. And then it brought me back to August of last year in my marriage, when things the turning point where God spoke to me. And basically he told me, and I don't think I ever shared this, but he pretty much told me stop expressing myself. And now that I hadn't been, we had been in such a great place. It just shows how seasons work, but we had been in such a great place. And then in January, he told me okay, now you need to start expressing yourself again. And I was a little confused. I didn't understand, but then I thought about it. I had got kind of comfortable with the fact that I wasn't really expressing myself. And I didn't really understand why he was pushing me again, but also understanding that he's going to continue to push me to be uncomfortable so that I can grow. So then it all came full circle in my mind. Like it really did, because he had told me to stop communicating so that I can learn how to control my emotions. And so that's pretty much why he told me don't say nothing for a few months. And, it was fine. And I did it. But when I realized what was happening is when it just clicked, when like God do something and then it doesn't make sense in the moment, but then it just clicks eventually. So my problem was that I was smoking instead of expressing myself. Like, it was easier to just smoke and suppress kind of how I was feeling. And I had not turned my communication over in my marriage to God. And in a sense, I didn't necessarily, I never even thought about it like, oh yeah, like I should turn this over to him. Like, it's communication, it's emotions. I didn't even think about it. But then when it all came full circle, I was thinking like, okay, the consequences now, and what I talked about last week, the consequences were that I wasn't being productive in the way that God needed me to be for him, in smoking and suppressing and not addressing my emotions. I needed to get to a place where, despite how I felt, feelings didn't dictate my actions or my fruit. And because I'm suppressing it, I'm not dealing with it, and I'm not allowing God to be God. I'm kind of, in a sense, like taking on the control. Like, nah, I got the emotions, I got the communication, I got it. And so once I stopped smoking and I started really allowing God to control my emotions for me, I was able to really get a new outlook on being married, on trusting God in a different way. But I've been noticing, like, over the past couple weeks, like since I've been getting uncomfortable again, I've been uncomfortable again. And I've just been like in a place where I just don't really, I I don't know. But then last night, like, it was all put to test. Like, I felt like I was put to test for sure. Because there was a situation where I'm communicating with my husband, and even though the response isn't what I feel like it should be, and normally I get overly emotional. Like, I'm one of those people who, like, it doesn't matter what's happening. If I'm happy, I'm going to cry. If I'm sad, I'm going to cry. If I'm angry, I'm going to cry. If I'm like just super surprised, I'm going to cry. Like, I don't understand, like, my emotions. They just there. So, like, getting to a place where I can really control them. So then last night, I felt so much peace in an environment where normally my emotions would be sky high. I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, God, like, I get it. I get it now. Like, you needed me to understand that I don't need to control this. Like, you got everything. Like, my hair needs to be done. Like, God, you got this. Can you give me some style? Like, literally, and not even to be funny, but God, I can turn anything over to you. Like, there's no limit. There's literally no limit. And so once he asked me to speak on the issues, I'm like, why do I have to speak on them? But I did. And last night it's so crazy because I was speaking from love, and I just felt it inside, like, God, like, this is the fruit. Like, this is the fruit that we talk about. This is it. I'm speaking from love. I'm speaking from patience. Like, I'm being patient. And then when we look in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, and it is not proud. So just allowing God to just guide, and it's not easy. I think that's the thing that's most important to me that I'm understanding is that the warfare is real. So the enemy doesn't want me to get to a place where my fruit is showing love when the world says I shouldn't be showing love. The enemy wants me to get to a place where I'm still smoking and my emotions are still going through the roof. I'm still communicating the same way, but what does that say about me? It doesn't show my fruit being productive for God. He wants me to love, like I made a vow to him, not only to my husband, but to him, that I have to be kind, even when I don't feel like I should be kind. Even when I have valid reasons to not be kind, I'm still kind. And he sees that. And that is what I think is just so amazing to me, because it's just like, wow, like the amount of peace and joy. It's like, regardless of what happens, God still allows me to have peace and joy in the moment where I should probably feel angry, in the moment where I should feel betrayed, in the moment where I should feel sad and be crying. I have peace. And I'm speaking from love and I'm being understanding. And it's not even that hard because it's not me. It's God. It's him manifesting in me what he's been working behind the scenes. He's been working on this for months and I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize him telling me to stop communicating and just focus on living and just focus on controlling what you can control. That was it. I was working on controlling what I can control, and I can control me and I can allow him to control me. And so like all I did was prayed and God led. And of course it took people telling me like, I think you should pray. But then when we go back to my devotional, sometimes in life, you're going to be so weak that you can't pray, you can't read the Bible, and you can't go to a Bible study. And in those moments, you rest in the strength of the Lord, in his arms like a child, and you trust. That's it. It's sometimes like this week I was just feeling like I needed, like, God, what do I do? Like I feel like it's something that I should be doing, but no, like I couldn't do anything. I was feeling so weak. But all I needed to do was trust. I needed to trust that what he was doing behind the scenes would manifest. And all that energy that I had saved up when I was feeling weak all week long, it just came out in peace, in love, and showing that, wow, this is how I'm being productive. Okay, I see it now. I see it now. I didn't see it before, but I get it now. And like, it just showed how limited my strength was all week. It just showed me and it humbled me and it keeps me just like at his feet and on fire when I don't feel like I'm on fire, but I am. I am, because I still want his love. I still want his guidance in those moments. And sometimes we might not feel like we have it, but we do. And so, yeah, and it's just like sometimes like you will feel like your strength is so limited. You will, just like I did. But guess what? God's strength is unlimited. So if we just, when we feel so weak and we just like, that's why it's so important to have people just like around us who can tell us, but did you pray? But what did God say? But did you ask for his strength, or are you just trying to use your own strength? And so sometimes, like for me, honestly, like every few months, I need that reiteration of like, okay, I know what I should be doing. And just like those simple reminders, like doing devotionals and stuff like that, like God just comes on, like he's on time every time. It's so crazy. So honestly, I was pretty much able to just fall into his arms in that moment. Like yesterday, that's all I did. And he carried me. And I just started feeling so defeated. But he carried me. And it was like nothing else I needed to do. I just needed to be obedient. Sometimes now we know sometimes we're going to be weak and we're not going to be able to do nothing else. And we can just rest in him because we know that he ain't going nowhere. He wants us to have everything we need. even if it doesn't look how we think it should look, he knows how it should look. And so I really want y'all to just ask yourself, like, what areas are you possibly holding back from God? Because I never, that's crazy, but like, I literally never even thought about like completely like surrendering my emotions to Him and allowing, asking, like, God, I want to have the emotions that you see fit for where you're trying to take me. Not even for like what my life looks like today, but where you're trying to take me. I want to produce for where you're trying to take me and not where I am today. Because where I am today, like, I'm not going to be here that much longer. You know, I got a few hours left, but where are we going tomorrow? Take my emotions to that place, to that woman, to that year, and develop me there. So that's that is that message, that revelation. I definitely just had to share that. I do have a new segment. Originally, I told y'all I had the advice segment, but since Carla isn't here, I'm not going to do that without her because we got 2 questions that I definitely wanted to answer on this episode, but we're going to wait. So I have another new segment. It is the melody of the week. I'm not going to tell y'all how I came up with this segment, but as far as this episode goes, and like, again, me taking my son to school in the mornings, this one song we've been listening to all week, Joy in the Morning. How ironic. The song is by Evan and Eris, the brother and sister duo. So Joy in the Morning. And I just want to read the lyrics because this is how on time God is. Okay, it starts off, lately I've been dealing with emotions. You tell me I'm strong when I am weak. Feels like I'm drowning in the ocean. You're the only one that walks the sea. And then it goes on. Tell me that you really got a plan. God, I need to know, how am I supposed to be above when I feel below? What? Okay, and then this other one, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I wish I could play it, but it says, yeah, I'm walking in grace, but tripping in fear. My vision is blurry. I can't see that clear. I need you to hear me. Can you just appear? Can you just appear? And then the chorus, they say that joy comes in the morning. I guess I gotta wait till then. I might wake up at 5 a.m. I just need to rest in Him. And so today when I heard this, I'm like, oh, God, that's you. That's it. So that is our melody of the week. And we'll do the advice segment next week. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm gonna add the melody to every episode. And then for this week's journal, I'm really curious because, we've been doing emotions this month, focusing on our emotions. Ask yourself for this week's journal, are you allowing your emotions to control you? Or are you laying them at God's feet so He can use you? So that is this episode. Announcements. Make sure you're subscribed to our weekly journals at itsnotyourdiary.com. Follow us on Instagram. We're doing a giveaway. But you have to go to Instagram to see. We're doing 3 different giveaways. 3. Make sure you're following us. And it's on our page, so you can go see what you have to do. There's some good giveaways. So make sure you go check them out. And my last thing is, I want y'all to share this episode with one person that you know that's struggling in any area, like with their emotions or anything. And if you think this could benefit them, share it. Okay, I appreciate y'all so much. And I will talk to y'all next week with Carla. Have an amazing week. Rest in Him. Bye.